we'll look to see how they do here. Face-off is going to be taken by Taylor Keith once again. Took the ceremonial face-off, took the first period face-off, and now here the second period.
Keith wins that draw. Over to Moore. Moore spins up the right side, tries to get it into the middle for DeVos. That just went under her stick. Armstrong Cooper coming the other way. Turnover though. Keith held up. She's going to draw the penalty again. That was a pretty blatant hook there. She tried to pull away, but got taken down, and we're back on the power play.
I hope they caught this on the BEC-TV cameras, because when Taylor Keith drew that penalty, she was actually really excited because she understood what had just happened there, and that the pressure she was putting on led to that penalty and to the skater advantage here. Face-off is going to be taken by Elise Tyus.
Oh, Tyus getting booted out of the face-off circle. Not sure why there, John. Maybe too intimidating looking. I'm always impressed with how low Tyus gets on her face-offs.
Just going to say, she crouches really, really low, and she's very successful with that.
Good tip in front by Tyus. That just went over the net.
I mentioned that, Ryan, that she did that a lot last year. That's how she scored her first and the team's first goal last year, and looking to replicate that. She also got quite adept at backhands, so haven't seen that yet this early young season, but we do see a lot of pressure here put on by the Jaguars.
Well, that puck thrown back to the blue line, but under pressure. Armstrong Cooper able to steal it. Toss it deep. Mendel retrieves. She's behind the net. She's looking up ice. Tries to get it ahead to Moore. She struggles to get it, trying to catch it from behind. Oh, and then she gets pushed in the back. That's going to be another penalty. That one, a pretty blatant cross-check in the lower back. She's seems okay, though. Climbs over the boards. We'll get a fresh power play unit out. And again, Johnny, we're on a 5-on-3.
Second period in a row, and so we'll have to see what happens this time. Of course, what happened the last time was about halfway into that. Jaguars drew a penalty, so then it became a 4-on-3 at that point. Yeah. So
another face-off win, goes back to the point. That shot hits traffic. Armstrong Cooper has the puck on a backhand though, trying to get it out, and they succeed. It comes out to center ice. Lindman retrieves. She's the one who got the puck to the net. Good cross-ice pass. Finds Perry over there. Perry cuts to the middle, tried to center it, and just whiffed on it a bit. Then First gets it in front. Also can't get much on that. Comes to Towie, back to Lindman. Lindman tries to center. That hits traffic. It's going to be held in by Towie, though. Good job covering the blue line. She goes cross-ice to Feldman. Feldman down to First. First almost got that through the 5-hole there, John, but good job for the goalie collapsing on it. Another save. We got 38 seconds of 5-on-3 left and 1:22 in power play total.
Notably, I've mentioned, Ryan, that of the defensive prowess of the Wings here tonight, and they've needed it given the imbalance in shots so far in the game. But this is their second 5-on-3. They didn't give up a goal the first time, and they're successfully so far killing it off here, but the Jaguars looking to try to change that.
Another draw win. Back to the point. Shot on net. Hit a skate. Armstrong Cooper gets a clear. Good play by the Armstrong Cooper defenseman there. Goes high off the far side wall. Pass ahead. That's First. She gets a touch on it to Towie. Towie enters the zone. Going to carry that behind the net. Looking for somebody in front. Going to set this up at the blue line. Goes to Lindman. Lindman shot in front. Gets through traffic, but just wide of the net. First has got it now. She goes back. That's Feldman. Feldman's shot hit traffic. Towie's got it. Goes to First, back to Feldman. Feldman, shot on net. That one, Armstrong Cooper did a good job clearing traffic in front. Good sight line for the goalie.
And good job by Armstrong Cooper killing off one of the penalties. We now have 39 seconds remaining in the second penalty. Jaguars still on the power play here. 5-on-4 to the goalie's right here, but so far unable to put one past her.
A fresh 5 out. We've got Keith taking the draw, another face-off win. We must be batting about 900 on face-offs here. Good shot from the near side wall from DeVos there. Goalie fumbled it a bit, but ended up corralling it.
Jaguars look really well organized on this power play. They've been passing it around, looking for each other, not trying to just rush everything, but and so looking to have that kind of diligence and patience pay off.
Yet another draw. DeVos skates into the middle. And another shot just tipped high over the crossbar, but that was on net from DeVos. She did a good job just skating from the near side wall into the slot. Ripped a shot, glove save. DeVos again, same move, gets it in front. That one just missed the far side post. I think the goalie was screened as well. Now it's behind the net. That's Schramm with it. She goes cross ice to DeVos. DeVos had a shot but tried to make a move, lost that puck, goes behind the net. Penalties up. Got to be aware of the Armstrong Cooper here, coming deep at the center ice. That puck off of the goalie popped out in front, but again covered. We are now up to 22 shots, Johnny, in 18 minutes. Just Bloomington dominating play here. The power plays have obviously helped, but it has been in the Armstrong Cooper defensive end the vast majority of this game.
There was a lot of pressure on the Armstrong Cooper end there, and so when the player was able to leave the box, I was surprised that they didn't just have her go into the play and instead have her go across all the way the ice and to the bench so they could send another player out, and they lost a good 3, 4, 5 seconds there, but goalie successful in keeping it out here. So they, second time so far this game, Ryan, they've killed off a 5-on-3 penalty.
Marshall, good speed, carried it behind the net, gets it back to the point. Schramm's shot goes wide. Tyus and Marshall attempt to hold it in. It's poked out to the center ice, though, and here comes Armstrong Cooper the other way. Tyus, who was covering for Marshall.
Good back checking by at least Tyus right there.
Tyus looking for an outlet pass. Gets it ahead Perry. Perry enters the zone with speed. She gets it, well, she had first. She's tried to cross over. Her centering pass got knocked behind the net. Tyus tries to get it in front. A good tough angle redirect by First there. It's kind of inner skates, but she got it on net, up in the air. Glove saved by the goaltender. And yet another offensive zone draw.
Shots now 23-3, so out shooting them by 20 shots. Nearly, dominant performance here by the Jags, but still just a 1-0 lead, 10:54 remaining in the second.
That shot by Lindman hit traffic. It gets passed back. Good puck movement there by Jefferson. Ends up on Towie's stick. She carries it behind the net. She's under pressure, but she powers through it. Loses her skates, but gets back up, still trying to control the puck. Body's hitting the ice all over the place now, John. Comes back to the blue line. Lindman pokes it into the corner. Towie behind the net. Moore is going to retrieve. Jefferson just hold puck possession here in the offensive zone. Towie's got it, gets it out. Shot on net. I think that was DeVos again. DeVos has had to have 6 shots already this game, John. And I think Jefferson's going to get a penalty here. I might have missed that in all of the activity. Not sure who it's on. Jefferson doesn't seem to. Oh, it's on Armstrong
Cooper. Yes, again. So another power play. And, a hook being called here. And, if you look at the Armstrong Cooper bench, somewhat similar, Ryan, to the Jaguar bench, but they have about 6 skaters at any time, who are not on the ice here. So they're going to start getting really tired here because they've been killing penalties, including 2 5-on-3s. Jaguars looking fresh.
DeVos tried to get another shot on net that hit traffic, but ended up on Towie's stick. She got a shot on net. That was saved. Behind the net, Towie. Over to DeVos. Good back to the point. That shot again hits traffic. Aside from the shots on net that have been saved, John, which are now up to 26, Armstrong Cooper has to have a dozen block shots by defensemen forwards in front as well.
Their goalie play and their defensive play and collapsing around the goalie has been very strong tonight.
Towie slid that across to the far side post, but went through again. Another shot blocked by a defenseman, or a forward playing defense, I should say. That comes back to the point. That shot again hits traffic. Moore in the corner with it. She tries to go behind the net. She's tied up at least momentarily. Kicks it to Towie. Towie looking. She skates behind the net, looking. Back to the point. That's Schramm. Schramm over to DeVos. DeVos tried to curl in front, but lost control of the puck. Retrieved by Moore. Moore gets it back to Schramm. Schramm down to DeVos. DeVos behind the net. Centering pass. Tried to find Moore, and Armstrong Cooper clears it out. That's a tough stretch of penalty kill for Armstrong Cooper too, because it's a long ice change. You got to get it deep if you want to get fresh skaters out.
33 seconds left for them to continue to try to do that. Well, the Jaguars have that same amount of time to try to score in the power play here. Ella First behind the net.
First to Tyus. Tyus looking back to the blue line. She goes to Mendel. Mendel's shot gets through traffic, hits the goalie. Tyus tried to get the rebound on net. Ends up in the corner. Tyus again trying to keep it stick fighting there with the Armstrong player. Tied up in the corner, no call. 2 Jefferson players on, as they should, on the power play. But the Armstrong Cooper defenseman fighting through all of that. Succeeds in getting it to the blue line, but held in. Shot on net by Schramm. Tyus tried to get a redirect. Couldn't. Comes out to the blue line. Jefferson's going to have to dump it in and touch up. New blue liners come on for Jefferson. Jefferson, I think, entered the zone a little early before the touch-up, so we'll have an offsides draw.
You know, Ryan, I've credited the Armstrong Cooper goaltending today, and in that sequence, one of the shots deflected from a stick, went right into her face, and she barely moved her head, kept her eyes, you could just tell, completely trained on the puck, which is why, despite the 27 shots, Jefferson has 1 goal so far, dominating the game in all facets, including, of course, a 1-0 score, but certainly could be more, and they're looking to look to try to add here as well.
That puck comes into the defensive zone. Marshall tried to go cross ice to Feldman. Feldman retrieved it, tried to go up the near side wall. That shot hits Marshall. Marshall's got it now. Passes it ahead to First. First with a touch to Tyus. Tyus has got a chance for a 2-on-1 here. That's Perry with her. Good pass. Perry with the redirect and finally knocks it in. Beautiful play by Jefferson.
Really nice job by Elise Tyus, who put on the afterburners there, right? Ryan was able to pass it to Perry. She got the shot off and then got her own rebound to push it through for her 2nd goal of the game, the Jaguars' 2nd goal of the game, and a 2-0 lead for Jefferson. And as we say this, terrific goaltending on the shots she did face by Annika Bjorklund. And as they did in the first game, they're doing a mid-second period, almost exactly halfway through the game by 2 seconds here. Number 42, Megan Delarwell, will come in and take the goaltending duties for the Jaguars.
So that transition goal, John, was set up by a nice breakout, just a touch pass from First that sprung Tyus coming up, created the 2-on-1 opportunity, and then Tyus did an excellent job of drawing the defender over, laid out a beautiful pass to Perry. Perry's first shot was saved there, but she stayed with it, knocked in the rebound. Really, really nice play by the Jefferson Jaguars there.
I had mentioned it, you know, they look very well organized, which is terrific for any team, but especially just a game and a half into the season here, and have been able to show some patience there. And then at the exact right time, had speed and good pass there, and a really nice job by Perry to get the shot off, get her own rebound, get her 2nd goal.
So this is the 2nd time the refs have kicked out the Jefferson centerman on a face-off draw. And I think I figured out, John, it's when the wings are cheating in before the puck drop, the linesman is watching for it, and they're blowing the whistle and forcing a new center person. Armstrong Cooper trying to get something going in the offensive end here, but Jefferson breaks out. Good cross-ice pass. I think that was Schramm. Came to Moore, centers it. Another nice attempted pass there by Keith. Just hopped over the stick of DeVos. DeVos behind the net, centering pass. Moore with a shot. That's saved. Moore picks up her own rebound. She centers it to Keith. Oh, Keith's shot, I think, hit the underside glove of the defenseman and just killed it. That was destined for the back of the net. Another just
pounced
nice
on very, very well by the Armstrong Cooper goaltender here. So, yeah, so again, very good goaltending, and they've certainly needed it here with a 30-3 shot differential between the Jaguars and the Wings.
30 shots, 2 goals. Shout out to your wife's mathematical skills. I believe that's a 93% save percentage, John.
Unbelievable.
A really good performance from the Armstrong Cooper goaltender here, keeping them in this game. Armstrong with a backhanded attempt that sails high over the net. Oh, we're going to get a Jefferson penalty there. That's going to be on Lindman, probably called for
interference, perhaps.
Interference or a check.
Yeah.
Maybe a cross they're calling. Honestly, John, that looked like she was just trailing the play and was surprised when the Armstrong Cooper skater stopped in front of her, and just sort of momentum carried them both forward.
I think they gave her a cross check.
They did.
Is what it looks like there. So Jaguars will go on the penalty kill here, which we haven't seen that much, except when you know, the 5-3 turned into a brief PK situation for the Jaguars. But we'll see how they perform here, and we'll see how well Armstrong Cooper can organize here. Tries to put a shot up high, but hits some traffic in front.
Good breakout pass. That was First looking for Perry. Perry gives good chase, good speed there by Perry. She goes into the corner. She gets taken down. And I wouldn't have called that, John. I think that was just a good sort of rub, as they call, from Armstrong Cooper, but good forecheck on the penalty kill from Perry. Here comes Armstrong the other way. First disrupts that with a poke check. On the blue line, we got Schramm and Mendel. I think that's number 9. Yep. They clear the puck all the way down. We get new penalty killing forwards. Good start to the Bloomington penalty kill here. That's Towie and Tyus out there. Alliterative combo here at the forward line, John. That comes back to Towie. She's looking cross ice. Struggles with it a little bit. Bloomington needs to get this across the blue line. They don't. Here comes Armstrong Cooper. Going to carry that behind the net. Tries the wraparound. Slid through the crease to the far side. Armstrong still controls centering pass. Intercepted, though. And nice clear there by Mendel. Got that off the ice all the way down. Jefferson gets a chance to reset. 40 seconds remaining on the power play for Armstrong Cooper.
Watch number 25, who has the puck. She's the one who had the wraparound. She's Haley Wolf for Armstrong Cooper, and she got a nice shot off right there. Well handled by number 42, Megan Delarwell. And one of the real challenging things to do for a goalie is to come into the middle of period where you haven't had the warm-ups you just had before the game there. So she was alert, well on it, and made a nice save right there, keeping the Armstrong Cooper Wings off the scoreboard.
A fresh set of penalty killers out for this draw. DeVos is going to take it. I think DeVos has been playing wing, but now that they're short, she'll step into the center circle there, take the draw. Armstrong out to the blue line. DeVos pressures the puck off her shin guard. She's going to try to go the other way. Armstrong Cooper offsides there. So we'll get a neutral zone draw. We got 18 seconds left on the penalty kill.
4:28 remaining here in the second. 2-0 Jaguars on 2 goals by number 13, Layla Perry, here in this first JV game here.
On the blue line, we got Feldman and Marshall. Draw one to the near side wall. Moore's going to pick that up. She's going to carry it deep with speed, burning some extra seconds. Tries to go behind the net, but has it poke checked away. Here comes Armstrong Cooper the other way. DeVos forces them to circle back. Another nice move. Ooh, that could have been offsides, and they're going to call it. Nice play by DeVos there, forcing a move at the blue line that caught Armstrong Cooper offsides. And now Jefferson back to full strength with only 1 shot given up on that power play.
Very nice penalty kill there by the Jaguars. And the one time that we were tested, Megan Delarwell was well ready for it here. So we now have Taylor Keith taking and winning the faceoff, and Jags are going to try and get back into the offensive zone where they've spent so much time today.
Good pass up ahead to DeVos. DeVos got some room. She's going to get a shot off. Oh, she had Moore crash in the net. Puck ends up with Moore, but she's tied up by 2 defensemen. Good pressure there by DeVos and Moore. Just too much traffic to really get any good wood on that puck.
It forces another faceoff to the goalie's left and keeps Armstrong out of their offensive zone here. So Jaguars able to continue to keep on this pressure. Shots 31-4 in favor of the Jaguars.
Puck is tied up, ends up in the crease. Fumbled a little bit there, but Armstrong Cooper succeeds in getting it clear. They try to exit the zone, but that's blocked and held in by Perry. Perry tied up behind the net. First now fighting for it in the corner. It goes back behind the net. Either Perry, Perry, or nope, the defenseman pinches in. That's Schramm. Centering pass goes through. Shot from the blue line. Good hard shot there from Mendel, but glove save. Shots now up to 32, John. Still only 2 goals. I'm not going to try to do that math. I'm good with round numbers. That's about it.
Well, we are shooting them about an 8, by 8 times here, 32-4 here. So Jaguars looking really, really good. Taylor Keith on the face-off here. So far, the ref has not kicked her out, as he has so many times for both teams.
Good shot from the point there by Mendel. It got tipped, but another good save. Keith behind the net, centering pass. That was first, got a shot on, saved to the far side. And I think that's Perry, who was trying to get the rebound. Held in, centering pass, nicely done by First, and First puts it away. That pass from Lainey Schramm, who held it in at the blue line, carried it in the corner, and then a beautiful centering pass. And
Just
First gets her
job.
first of the year, after scoring 8 times last year.
So those of you watching this on BEC can see that really nice centering pass, and then Ella First just burying the puck right there. Similar to the second goal, a result of really unselfish play and a nice passing combination here. Elise Tyus taking and winning the faceoff, and Jaguars now up 3-0 with 3:06 remaining in the second.
I'm waiting at some point for the dam to break here, John, with all the offensive pressure.
Well, the
One of
goalie's
these goals
just
is gonna
done a
sort of break the
tremendous
spirit,
job,
yep.
and in general, they've been able to, collapse around her and protect her. But there's no question who's been in control of this game so far.
So again, officially, that last goal was first from Schramm. I didn't catch, John. There might have been a second there. It says nice centering pass. There,
Layla Perry looking for the hat trick, but went above the net.
Perry from a close range sailed that high over the net. That was an adrenaline shot right there. That would have been her third of the game, I believe, John.
Indeed, she's looking for the hat trick, yeah. So, and we still have a full period and 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in the second.
Moore comes off the bench, comes flying in to win that puck race. She passes it back. Shot from the point, hits traffic, gets her own rebound. Another shot on net. That one covered up with bodies dropping in front. That was Mendel from the blue line. We've had quite a few shots from the blue line too, John. Many of them, as we've alluded to, getting blocked by Armstrong Cooper players before they get to the net, but all players are getting involved in the offense here.
No question about it. And Jaguars looking to win this draw, which is being taken by Ashley Towie, and puck drops, and she indeed does win, and it leads to a shot attempt.
Comes back to the point after getting blocked by traffic, goes behind the net, centering pass, ends up on an Armstrong Cooper stick. They get it out to center ice. Littman's going to retrieve. She's got to settle that puck. It's on edge. Well, they're going to get an icing, rolled all the way down. So we only got 2 minutes. We're only in the second period here, John. It feels like we've had so much action, but we've got 2 minutes left in period number 2 with still 1 period to go.
Well, for different reasons, both teams will be glad to take a break. The Jaguars have been flying all around the ice, and I'm sure the Armstrong Cooper Wings need a break here, so they'll get one when they resurface the ice in between the second and third period, minute 47 remaining.
That draw, one back to Lindman. Her shot saved by the goaltender. Blocker save, stick save, puck loose in front, chip to the far side, but couldn't get that redirected. DeVos has got it. She tries to cut into the middle. Comes back to Feldman. Feldman shot, hit traffic, and then the rebound in front, tucked away by Towie. So another just get pucks on net. Pucks sat there. Towie, good job, quick stick, knocking that one in from between her own feet. I think that assist will probably go to Feldman on the initial shot, and then Towie tucking away the rebound.
Well, you were talking about, the fact that you're kind of waiting for this to break open, and particularly on that sequence, you saw it just, the Jaguars keep putting on shots here, and some were deflected certainly, but inevitably something like that is going to happen, and they're looking to do it again here.
Just lost the puck right in the slot trying to carry. You can see they're buzzing now, John. They can feel it. Bloomington sort of energized now that they feel like they're getting pucks through. Armstrong Cooper trying to survive the last minute here and keep this game 4-zip or maybe get on the board, but Lindman retrieves that puck. Oh, loses it in front. Good stick raise by the Armstrong Cooper player there. Got a shot on net. I think might be the second save of this period.
That really nice shot by Armstrong Cooper was by Ayanna Staples, a senior, which you don't necessarily often see on JV.
Moore with a good pass to DeVos. And a good play by the defense. DeVos made her pay for it for cutting her off. And they're going to blow the whistle. Let's hope she's all right. She got run over by DeVos. As DeVos was trying to cut to the middle, the defenseman did what she's taught to do, which is sort of like cut in the middle, but she took the brunt of that. So we got a trainer coming out, hoping she'll be all right. We'll keep you updated.
Indeed, and her teammates surrounding her, and she's moving around. She may have had the wind knocked out of her just kind of based on how she's acting, but thank goodness we have terrific trainers here at the Bloomington Ice Garden and throughout all rinks in the Minnesota State High School League hockey games here. It gives both teams a little bit of a breather, and here we see Coach KP, talking to all of her players and, probably talking about keeping the pressure up here with 35.2 seconds remaining.
I'm interested, John. We've had 2 goals scored by Layla Perry. I, for one, know that Layla has a twin brother who is also a freshman. And from prior experience, I know him to be a second baseman in baseball who had a knack for bullpen chatter. He definitely kept...
It's an art form in baseball.
Yes, ensured that there was chatter going at all times. I don't know if BEC-TV has hidden mics on the benches, but I'd be curious whether Layla has a similar gift for gab as her twin brother might.
We will learn that as the season goes on. Most pressingly here, number 34 on the Armstrong Cooper Wings, Kendall Camacho is up and going to the locker room, or going to the bench actually, but she appears to be okay, so we're certainly relieved with that. Some nice applause by everyone here at the Bloomington Ice Garden here. She will have, of course, a full line change here for both teams here as the teams look to finish out the second period. Faceoff taken and won by Armstrong that time, but goes back to the Jaguars.
Back to the blue line. That centering pass hits traffic. Now it's knocked out by Armstrong Cooper. Feldman gonna retrieve. She looks to go D to D. Lindman under pressure though. Puck's knocked into the corner. 15 seconds left. Jefferson looks to be smart here. Goes to Feldman. That's up to Perry, but Perry's tied up on the blue line. Clock's gonna wind down here, John, and there's our buzzer for the second period wrapped up. Jefferson with a 4-0 lead on the scoreboard and a 39-5 shot advantage as we head into the second period Zamboni break.
Really terrific job so far by the Jaguars, and this is coming after a game where they tied 1-1 on Thursday night, first time, and they improved, if you remember, Ryan, in that game, between the first period into the second and into the third, so they're playing their best hockey so far.
Recapping the scoring so far, John, Layla Perry's got 2 goals. Tawi got an assist and a goal. First with 2 assists and a goal. And Tyus with an assist, Schramm with an assist, Feldman with an assist. So stuffing the stat sheet so far. Shot totals for the goalies, not a ton here. Bjorklund with 3, and I guess doing my math here with 5 total. Delarwell with 2.
So great job on the shots that they have had to face our goalies, and nothing that even seems to have come that close to scoring here at this point. And a lot of assists on those goals, and that's terrific to see. And for those of you who did see it here on BEC-TV, you saw some really nice unselfish passing and setup. And then you, on that last goal, just saw what happens when you put a lot of pucks on net, and it eventually kicks out, and it's very hard for a goalie to keep it off at that point.
All right, well, we're going to take a break here, John. We'll pick it up with the third period. And we are back for the start of period 3. Jaguars leading 4-0 through 2, outshooting the Armstrong Cooper opponent 38-5, John.
Really terrific performance so far by the Jaguars, and most profoundly, Ryan, this is the second game that we have announced. The first game in Prior Lake on Thursday when they tied 1-1, and the team seems to be getting better every period. If you remember, they were somewhat outplayed that first period, caught up, and then seemed to do better, if not dominate, the third period of the Prior Lake game, and have dominated all 3 periods here. Credit to the Armstrong Cooper Wings, because they've had terrific goaltending play here today. Tremendous number of saves, 34 saves so far by their goaltender, and their defense has collapsed well around their goalie, but they've needed to because the pressure has been really, really heavy so far.
We probably should have thought of this before the broadcast, John, but hopefully we haven't had any FCC regulatory violations filling in on our first opportunity here. I don't want to torpedo my chances for a BEC-TV late night sports talk show opportunity in the future.
You know, as long as we keep talking about this Jaguar team, people are going to want to hear about it because they are playing well, that's for sure. And for those of you who might just be tuning in, this is the first official high school game at the newly renovated Bloomington Ice Garden on the old Rink 3, now called Rink 1. We can just call it the high school rink here, and the JV Jags doing themselves, the school, and the community proud.
Coming out for period 3 here, fresh set of ice, the puck's moving better. Armstrong actually in the offensive zone here with a little bit of sustained pressure, trying to keep it deep, and we're going to get a penalty on Armstrong here, I think, for a slash in the corner there, John. The outlet pass just misses more. It's going to be touched up. There's the whistle. Yep, the offending Armstrong Cooper player heads straight to the box.
No argument there. I think she knew what she did, and you're quite right. It is a slash. Jaguars back on the power play. They've been on the power play several times, including 2 5-on-3s, but the Jags have not scored on the power play, not due to lack of effort and some tremendous opportunities, but just some great goaltending by Armstrong Cooper and good defense killing off those penalties. We'll see what happens here. Looks like Elise Tyus is out there to take the face-off and wins the face-off.
Comes back to the blue line, shot on net there by Schramm. Saved. Tyus tries to get a stick on the rebound, gets knocked down for her efforts, but covered up. We'll try that again.
That was an unlikely knockdown because the size difference between Elise Tyus and number 15 and Armstrong Cooper, Sophie Ducharme, was quite different, but Sophie got the best of that one. But
all about
Elise
leverage,
right back.
John.
You got
Another
it.
draw win, again back to Schramm. That shot goes wide. Tyus, though, tries to poke it in the near side post. The goalie literally pinned that puck with her skate blade and the post, John, to
showing
keep
a lot
it
of skill
2
here
inches
today.
from crossing
Absolutely.
the goal line.
You talk about leverage. There's leverage right there by the goalie, and a terrific job there keeping it a 4-0 game for the Jaguars.
Tyus loses that draw, but Bloomington manages to hold the zone. First, carries it, drops it back to Schramm. Schramm, shot on net, hits traffic in front. I think that hit the skate of Perry.
Perry looking for the hat trick there and almost was able to poke that in, but again, another nice stop by the Armstrong Cooper goaltender here. Looks like the Jags are going to keep the same power play unit out there. Elise Tyus again leaning low, looking to win this offensive draw. It does, and it comes back here to
Mendel.
And she
Mendel
looks like
tries to carry it in, ends up on the stick of Perry. Perry's shot goes wide. First has got it now. She's tied up in the corner. That's Perry in the corner. Tyus comes to help her out, goes back to the blue line. Mendel's shot, saved, rebound, just misses the net. That was First trying to redirect. Perry trying to get it back to the blue line. Tyus is going to help out. She gets it back. Mendel, shot through traffic, another save. I think that's five offensive zone draws in the first minute of this power play, John. We're getting shots. Just need to get a fortunate tip or something here.
Good vision by the Armstrong Cooper goalie there, seeing it through a lot of traffic there and swallowing it up, but again creating a face-off right to her left here. 1:02 remaining in the Jaguar power play, 13-19 in this third period where the Jaguars enjoy a 4-0 lead.
Towie takes that draw, won it to the sidewall, but Moore gets taken down, comes back to the blue line. Feldman holds it in, trying to get it to DeVos. Centering pass intercepted. DeVos interskates. She makes a move, tries to get it in front. Towie there, just shot wide. More centering pass to Towie, but she's on her backhand. Tried to go between her feet to get that on net, but couldn't get much on it. And yet another offensive zone draw. At least this one's on the to the goalie's right, John. We're switching sides for the first time.
Armstrong Cooper changing their PK unit. That quartet that was out there did a really, really nice job for the bulk of the penalty right there. 35 seconds remaining in the power play.
That was a clean draw win back to Lindman, but Lindman's shot hit traffic. Moore covering. She tries to find DeVos on the far side. DeVos retrieves. She's going to try to get it in front. Loses it. Clearing attempt, hopefully held in. Good hold there by Feldman. Feldman centering pass, though, intercepted. Armstrong Cooper should be able to clear the zone. They chip it out to neutral ice. Lindman retrieves, skating backwards, looking up ice. Good cross ice pass. Hits Towie. Towie's got DeVos and Moore with her. Towie skates across, gets a shot on, hits the blocker. Moore tried to poke the rebound, but it was inner skates. Puck cleared back to the blue line. To DeVos. DeVos to Towie. Towie's shot hit a shin guard. Puck's in front, and Armstrong Cooper back at full strength. Gets it out to center ice.
Nice stick work there by Lindman in terms of preventing a breakaway. Just be able to poke check it right above there, and Jaguars able to recover.
Armstrong gets it into the Jefferson defensive end. Lindman retrieves behind her net, tries to go D to D, but that's intercepted centering pass. But Armstrong Cooper in the midst of a change, didn't have anybody there. Clearing attempt, knocked backwards. Lindman, though, loses the puck. Armstrong Cooper with 2 on. Looking a little more aggressive in the third period here, John, trying to make something happen. Here comes First, makes a good move to get out. She's got, that was Perry with her, tried to find her for her third goal. Centering pass to First. First shot goes a little wide. Perry now battling for it in the corner, trying to knock it free. Comes to the blue line, held in. That was Mendel. Shot goes wide. First retrieves, holds it in. Little help from Marshall. Marshall again holding the blue line, battling for it, and finally cleared out to center ice.
You know, in that previous sequence there, again, another very unselfish cross-ice pass trying to set up the open teammate there. We've seen that multiple times. It's connected twice for a goal so far this game. A really good sign. And here comes Perry bringing it into the offensive zone.
Comes to a stop, tried to get it to the middle. That's intercepted. Good play by Mendel there to break it up.
Perry back checking and put it in deep here, and Jaguars looking to make a change.
Jaguars get a full line. Moore's the first one out. She's immediately forechecking. Forces a turnover. Tyus has got it. Oh, and they're going to call Moore for a stick penalty there. A hook, a high stick.
High sticking. Yes.
Good effort. She actually forced the turnover. Tyus was going in all alone if they hadn't called that.
So the Jaguars will go on the penalty kill here with 10:27 remaining in the third. We haven't seen that this much. It's been much the opposite, including 2 5-on-3s that the Jaguars have enjoyed here. So we're joined here real quick by a gentleman who has been so instrumental in the grand reopening of this Bloomington Ice Garden. The rink manager, Lenny Kleven-Schmidt, who many people here know through years of being a hockey dad, as well as someone who has helped out in every aspect of the community here. So congratulations, Lenny, on this grand opening.
Enjoy the game. Enjoy the new Bloomington Ice Garden. And, it's so great to see the community out enjoying this space. Again, it was lonely for 6 months, so it's good to have family back in the building.
We hope that you were able to pick up that audio, and Lenny again telling us thanks and how lonely it was here for 6 months when it was closed, but good to have family back in the building, and indeed lots of families here enjoying this game. And come on down for the varsity game. No admission charge today here. Varsity game starts at 3 o'clock, and plenty to see here in terms of the tremendous work they've done.
Lenny, a fellow girl hockey dad dating back years, right? I had
Two
daughters
girls
who
in the
played
system.
with
Absolutely.
both of our
Yes.
kids.
Yep.
So we've known Lenny from before he was the ambassador of big hockey dumb here.
Playing many roles, the hockey dad, as you say, an equipment scrounger for
Yes.
girls wanting to skate.
Yep.
He's just been terrific. So
Has always been involved in the hockey community, a great ambassador for the girls' sport in particular, John.
absolutely. So congratulations to him, everyone involved in this tremendous project here. Bloomington Ice Garden looks great.
Jefferson on a penalty kill here. Keith being very disruptive at the forward position, really making it hard for Armstrong to even get into the zone. They finally just dump it deep behind the net. Mendel retrieves. She tries to get it up the near side wall, but that's held in. Thrown back behind the net. Goes to the far side corner, centering pass broken up. That's Schramm now carrying it. She's got Perry with her. Schramm enters the zone, makes a move, tries to get a shot that deflected into the corner. Schramm's going to retreat back to the blue line. Two seconds left. Jefferson now back at full strength. Going to try to, they drop it back. That's Towie. Towie makes a move, gets it into the zone, throws it into the corner, retrieves. Going to try to get it in front. That hit a defenseman's skate, goes behind the net. First, steals that puck. Oh, tried to find Perry in front. Again, still fighting for it and gets it to Towie all alone. Not a lot of room. Tries to make a move. Backhand saved by the goaltender.
Really nice pad save right there.
Comes out to center ice. Mendel goes D to D. Finds Feldman. Feldman up to Towie. Towie ahead. That's DeVos. DeVos tries to get to the middle. 1-on-4. She's gang blocked there. Moore picks it up. She's tries to get it in front. Good pass, good find. Towie there with another close range shot, but another good save by the goaltender.
Pressure continues here for the Jaguars, out shooting their opponents 46-5 so far in this game, which is extraordinary on every level.
Well, we've already hit the my golden 1 goal per minute average. Here comes Moore. Good shot. Had DeVos on the far side post looking for a rebound, but the defenseman took away the pass. Moore took the shot. The 47th save for the Armstrong Cooper goaltender.
Unbelievable job by her today. An unbelievable job by the Jaguars. They're going to try and continue here, and again, Elise Tyus wins the faceoff.
That shot gets through. Shot from the point from Feldman. Back to Feldman off the rebound. She's looking for goes D to D, but instead she comes up to the near side wall, hits DeVos. DeVos tries to spin to the middle, loses that puck. Behind the net, Moore now circles. Good look back out to the point. Lindman tried to center it for Tyus. That ended up on net. Pokes to the corner. Tyus tries to center it. She's fighting for it in the corner. Comes back to Lindman. Lindman holding the zone, pushing it deep. DeVos covering at the blue line, but Armstrong Cooper succeeds in pushing it out. Feldman tries to go cross ice, has Moore. Moore looking to just get it into the zone. Her line mate's changing behind her. Comes out to neutral ice. Lindman goes all the way across. I think she heard yelling. I think that was coming from the bench though, and she thought it was a D partner calling for it. Lindman ends up with it again. Passes it ahead. Moore gets rubbed into the wall hard. Bounces off.
Again, a good non-call there, I think.
It was,
it was
yep,
contact,
clean play.
but not a check.
Armstrong tries to center it, goes off a skate, comes to Marshall. Marshall ahead to Keith, bounces off a skate. Lindman trying to control it. She's got it now at the red line. She's going to carry that in. Tries to make a move. Centering pass, nobody from Bloomington there. Turned over, here's Keith. She's going to get a shot off. Good shot, rebound, Keith again, but tough angle. She just tries to bounce it off the back of the goalie, John. Crafty, wily veteran move there, Keith. Centering pass comes out to the point to Marshall. Marshall just chips it in front. It's bouncing right over Keith's stick. Keith looks destined to score on this possession, but
absolute right position right there. But as you say, the puck bounced, and that's often hard to control.
Marshall retrieves. No icing there because Bloomington, that went back on a attempted pass to the blue line that got through. Comes up the near side wall to Perry. Perry carries it across the blue line. She got first with her. Keith with her. Puck shoved into the corner. Armstrong Cooper possesses. They get it out to the neutral zone. Thrown back in. Bloomington going for a change. The D stays out. Armstrong Cooper now in transition. Moore fresh off the bench. Good shot on net. Good save. First shot for the Bloomington goaltender in a while.
Very
Here
well
comes
handled.
Mendel with some speed from the blue line. Good shot on net, glove save.
Speed and some strength right there. That was a nice crisp shot, well handled, as most of them have been, because we're now up to 51 shots and only 4 have gotten by her. So terrific job again by the Armstrong Cooper Wings goaltender here. 4:35 remaining here. Face off to the goalie's left and won again by the Jaguars.
In front, Towie gets a shot on, save. So we're only 2 games into the season, John, but initial impressions, this Jefferson JV team has a lot of speed.
They really do.
A lot of speed, like top to bottom. They're just fast.
And they are passing to each other quite well. And,
Yeah.
you know, something I've noticed too is that as the game gets deeper and we're in their offensive zone almost the entire time, we're also creeping closer and closer to the goalie when we're passing it around. The defense has kind of collapsed deeper around the goalie, and that's going to just create more and more opportunities. These shots aren't coming from the point necessarily. They're coming from point blank, pretty close.
And when you pair that speed with hustle, John, what you're seeing here is it allows the Jefferson Jags to play more aggressive, especially from the blue line, because they know they'll have reinforcements if they do get beat from back checkers who are catching up to the play. So part of the reason we've been so successful at offensive zone pressure is our D's holding that blue line with very little fear that we're going to give up odd man rushes. Knock on wood.
Absolutely. And faceoff comes actually outside of the offensive zone, and I think that was perhaps because of a scrum right in front of the goalie there. So that's why they moved it out there. And 3:51 remaining here. Shots 53-6. Score 4-0 Jaguars.
This third period much cleaner than the earlier. Nice tip there in front on a shot from Mendel. Goes behind the net. Towie's going to pick that up. She's going to circle out front looking for a pass. Gets it back to Mendel. Mendel throws it in front. Had traffic. Hit a defender. Pops back into the corner. DeVos has got it. She loses it to Armstrong Cooper. We haven't had the penalties or the whistles this period, John, so the time seems to be going by quicker. Again, good offensive pressure here, though, from Jefferson. Trying to get one more before the time expires. Tipped out to center ice. Handled by Towie. Across to DeVos. DeVos going 1-on-4. Tries to cut to the middle. Loses that puck.
Lainey Schramm getting it in the corner and looking for some mates here. Gets dumped, but no arm up by the referee.
Schramm still pressuring. She comes away with it. Centers it for Tyus. Tyus with a good redirect. Good look by Schramm getting it out there. And Tyus got that shot on from close range. Moore covering at the blue line. It ends up on Tyus' stick in front of the net, but she ran into a defender's skate before she could get the shot off. That is one of the times where having the extremely long stick is a bit of a hindrance, John. Sometimes tough to work in traffic.
Mentioned her backhand before. She tried a backhand pass there, but wasn't able to connect there. But seems very comfortable with that kind of play, either at a pass or a shot.
Armstrong trying to break out, shoots that puck into their own bench there. So we're now at 2 minutes, 19 seconds left in the game. I don't know what our record for shots is, John. I know I've always kept an eye on the shot per minute goal, which for a JV game would be 45. I feel like we tried to hit 60 once and didn't get there.
Well, something notable about this game is beyond the 54 shots, Ryan, many, many times you've announced that the shot hit a defenseman and got deflected by the pad. And absolutely. So, credit to the Armstrong Cooper Wings defense in terms of getting in front of the puck and doing as much as they can to protect the goalie. But the shot attempts are far north of the 54 that have actually, hit the goalie, and she's been able to stop all but 4 of them.
Here comes Armstrong Cooper the other way, gets a shot on net. Good save, rebound, another save. Scrum to the side of the net. Armstrong trying to get it in front. Body's hitting the floor there.
About now 3 shot attempts right there. Very well played by Megan DeLauro. So another 4.
Puck's loose in front. Good clear. I think that was Tyus. Poked it out of danger. Tyus has got it now. Looking to go far side. Tries to get it ahead to first. First fighting for it on the sidewall. Comes to Tyus. Tyus looking to break out of the zone. Looks ahead and connects with DeVos. DeVos coming in all alone. Oh, another excellent save. DeVos tried to go glove side far post, and the goalie snagged that out of the air. Good glove save. Save number 51.
That was indicative of a lot of the game. Really good offensive pressure by the Jefferson Jaguars, and just terrific goaltending by the Armstrong Cooper Wings there. Wasn't able to get it in, but well played by Megan DeVos as well as the AC goalie.
And a beautiful outlet pass from Tyus. I don't want to lose that. Tyus had time, looked up, saw Megan come off the bench, hit her in stride. That was pretty.
Down to about the last minute here. Uncertain if we're going to get an icing call here.
Nope, that was a pass back to the D that was missed. No icing, just under a minute. Retrieve there, but Armstrong Cooper throws it behind the net. Keith's going to give chase, trying to get it up the sidewall to Moore. Moore's got it now. She's going to try to get it out to center. She gets it to DeVos again. Does have a defender back, one-on-one this time. DeVos tries to find Moore. She was all alone, but just a little out of reach. Moore back to DeVos. And there's goal number 5, scored by Mendel. I think that was probably off of a pass or a redirect from DeVos. It was DeVos and Moore who were sort of creating the initial traffic in front and opportunity, and then Mendel came trailing in from the blue line and buried it.
As we see on the replay here, a really nice, high, sharp shot after so many went low and so many scrums in front of the net there. So that gives the Jaguars a 5-0 margin here, 31.6 seconds remaining in the game.
The draw, one back to the blue line, passed ahead, cleared out to center ice. That's Lindman trying to get in. She's got somebody in front. Oh, and there we go. Goal number 6. That was Towie from Lindman. Lindman pressured, tried to hold the blue line, controlled the puck, brought it in the corner, saw Towie in front, and Towie with a really nice redirect just chipped that puck high into the top of the net for goal number 6.
And 2 goals in really quick succession here, and a really terrific game by the Armstrong Cooper goaltender, but just the pressure, I'm sure, in the last minute or two, just relentless, and Jaguars able to score twice here. Very nice goal, and a nice pass to set it up as well. Nice pass by Annabelle Lindman.
Well, as we're winding down the last 10 seconds here, John, you and I thank BEC-TV for giving us the chance to broadcast this game. It was a fun time. We do this often for our YouTube channel, but rare that we get the official replay monitor and headphones.
Indeed, and it's been an honor to do it, and I want to encourage everyone who listened and watched. First of all, thank you very much for tuning in today. Second, you got a good half hour or so to come down to the Bloomington Ice Garden for the varsity game. No charge here today, and it'll be the first official varsity game here, but boy, this first official high school game on the renovated Bloomington Ice Garden couldn't have gone better for the Jefferson Jaguars. A big 6-0 victory, Ryan.
So for John and I, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, if you're watching at home, you're going to stick around and watch the varsity game. But we'll sign off.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, John.